taking on the Detroit Lions. Just about set for a start. Happy to have you with us, and we are underway here on Thursday Night Primetime. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. First run now for Kyron Williams. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now. Back to throw. Grant. That's caught. Puka Nacua. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket to wait for the route to develop. Mission accomplished there as they pick up the first down.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. You talk about this Lions defense. This unit against the pass, hoping to get better for sure. Number 25 in the NFL right now.
With the lack of pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground. This is a passing league, so there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Looking to throw. Grant. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions 30. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A give to Williams, running right to the 27-yard line.
I think we put together a job description for a middle linebacker. We would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Puka Nacua with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Rams will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together.
Let's go, baby.
A man who was the Georgia State High School Player of the Year in 2020. Here's Jahmyr Gibbs. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
At the 49-yard line.
Another run for Gibbs here. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into field territory. He'll get a nice jump there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The Lions at 3-5, 2 games under 500. They come in losers of 2 straight, so try to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They've got to get a little bit of lucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
This is 3rd and 1, very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Back to throw. McCord throwing the out route incomplete. That's Bryant. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys that really have some pep in their step. You go to them very often.
They'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. Looking to throw. McCord. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. You talk about this Rams defense. This unit, very tough to throw against. Currently second best in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. If they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
Quick slant there gets him the first down. 6 yards on the play.
Detroit Lions, first down. First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand for this defense now for getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Now 3rd down and 7.
Let's go.
Off-play action. McCord. That is caught. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Pat Bryant, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Lions are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. Well, Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there.
He was taken down behind the line.
Here comes the Rams punter now. Back deep, Trey Palmer. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And the Lions will take over
at their own 29-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. And the Rams are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. These two teams all tied after one. The Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. They try the left side here with Williams. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
First and goal at the 4-yard line.
60 biceps.
Operating from the gun. Grant. And this is caught. He's got a touchdown.
Touchdown.
From 3 yards out. And the Rams have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7.
14-7.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw their interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And they worked this well upfield across the 45. How about 25 yards on third down? They'll take it.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
They go play action here on first down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Here's second and 10.
Here we go.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's across midfield. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Gibbs straight ahead. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. Getting 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Second down, and they go back to Gibbs. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Not your normal call in short yardage, but the toss works very well there. Big people out in front, being physical, and they pick up a first down.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
First down. First and goal at the 4-yard line.
Back to throw. McCord. And he takes this one in for the Lions. Touchdown. Trey Palmer from 3 yards out. And the Lions are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And we are tied at 14.
Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Turn. The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they haven't had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play there.
And the Lions are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positive.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9 at the Rams' 48-yard line.
Looking to throw. McCord. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. It's rare that a receiver of his caliber would drop one pass, but that's now 2 times he's had his mitts on one and lost it.
Yeah, and I don't think that they're going to lose confidence in him, though, because of the track record. Such a good player, maybe having a bad game, but I think they'll still go to him in this spot.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
1st and 10 at the 19.
Straight ahead with Gibbs here. They'll get to him just inside the 15-yard line. And even after that fancy footwork we saw, a good job defensively to recover. Ball at the 14 for 2nd and 5. Back to throw. McCord. Now he'll tuck this and run. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
4-yard line.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he will force his way forward for a yard or 2, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so, because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
The quick slap. Touchdown. Trey Palmer with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Lions have broken our tie as they take the lead. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Gets past one man. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense. Gaining chunks of yardage, getting 1st downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Looking to throw. Grant. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And now falling complete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game. It has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
Well, this one complete. It's Rashee Rice. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Williams is going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Now a timeout called for by the defense, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Operating from the gun, Grant. This is caught.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Yeah, boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. Only a yard on the sneak, not enough. And he's a few inches short for fourth down. A final shot before break. Grant. Touchdown, Rams. Kyron Williams in the final seconds of the first half. And the Rams have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half. The kick is through the uprights to tie this game, but hang on a second. We do have a flag. So the late touchdown ties things as they will kick this one away in the final stages of the half. And that one not returnable. It's over the back line to the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 30-yard line.
You should get out of my way. Don't tell me what I should do. I'ma do what I want anyway.
19 Tiger.
A final shot before break. McCord going underneath. Gibbs has it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 26.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Detroit. Jahmyr Gibbs, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead.
Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And he returns this to the 22. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
It's a gain of 23 yards. That's good for our Rams.
They'll look to throw now on first down. That one caught by Rice. Room to maneuver at the 35. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 30 49 yards the distance covered on the catch and run. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
A 39-yard gain on the play.
On the counter, here's Williams. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Back to throw. Grant. That'll be caught by Rice. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Rashee Rice, his first touchdown on the year. And the Rams are an extra point away from drawing level. Extra point splits the uprights. And we are all tied at 28. So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. And able to get this out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes it's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. Gibbs will try and pick it up. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 129 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown. Now for the point after. It's up and good, and they jump back ahead, 35-28.
Rams 31, Lions 28. Joshua Carney to kick off.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. Still going past the 30. And he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Lions. It's been a back-and-forth game. A lot of points on the board. And that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Hey, you've seen both teams go at it. And as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming. And that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
Return set up here. And he takes it all the way across the 40 before going out of bounds.
Well, that return gives him a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And I believe will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a 1st down to boot.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop it behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Looking to throw. Grant.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
Third down and 13.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw. Grant.
Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And the Lions are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Well, I don't want to take too much away from his performance throwing the football. He's got the 4 touchdown passes, but this now a second interception of the ball game.
And, partner, part of what's gotten him the 4 touchdowns is a certain fearlessness. But that fearlessness borders with recklessness, and the latter just occurred.
And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47.
That's good.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 14 yards that time for number 14. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. And he's got his man on the end route. 10 more there, another first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. Brought down on the play by Kobe Turner.
It's 2nd and 8.
Here's 2nd and 8. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter.
Fourth quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10.
On the give, here's Gibbs.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They'll go again with Gibbs.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the
153 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
First down and goal to go.
A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal.
That is caught left side by Bryant.
So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And it's 2nd and goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Gibbs is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
2 on the play. It's 3rd down and goal to go.
Here we go. Take off.
Looking to throw. McCord. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
A 2-yard touchdown grab.
broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the fourth.
And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
First down. A gain of 14.
Off the play fake.
Grant. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Got his man, it's Williams. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down. A nice, safe throw and a good one.
This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
A new lease on life after the 4th down conversion. Here's 1st and 10.
They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks out, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Work in the middle of the field. He's got a man complete.
And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 18. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down with a nice little gain. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
A 2-yard gain on the play.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. The sound reverberating here in the dome. This is 3rd down.
He'll look to throw.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep the touchdown.
Puka Nacua with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Rams are an extra point away from tying this game here in the the final minutes.
His kick is good.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter.
Start to the week this has been. All tied fourth quarter as the kick's away.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they're going to have good starting field position. He's out of bounds, but not before he's across the 35.
Here's 1st and 10. Drive starts with a run from Gibbs. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Here we go, sack.
Off play action. McCord. He caught. It's St. Brown. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Back to throw. McCord.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
A little bit of a dangerous throw in a tie ball game because your job, make sure the worst thing that happens to your offense is that you go into overtime. That could have been a game changer there if he came down with that interception.
But somebody gotta do it. Got my foot up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off. Turn his TV off.
Inside a minute to go. Here's 2nd and 10 now. Hand off now to Gibbs.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
What a kickoff to the week this has been. Now a big play. It's 3rd down.
Off the play fake.
McCord. Across the middle, he's got it complete to St. Brown.
Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd. As the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th.
This is 1st and 10.
At the 24-yard line.
Now a give to Gibbs, running left. And he's going to be out of bounds to stop the clock. And they continue to move a little bit closer toward that potential game-winning field goal. Now 2nd down and a few inches.
At the 14-yard line.
60 Eagle.
A toss out right to Gibbs.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Here we go. 1st and goal. They'll run with Gibbs.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow. This guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on 1st down.
They'll try to run with Gibbs.
And he's in for the touchdown. And in the final seconds, forget overtime. They've just likely won this thing in regulation.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And they will take a 7-point lead.
Rams 42.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. They'll come up. 1st and 10 here.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's Incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner. Although on that last play they were so backed up, it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So for Detroit, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And they'll get another home date next week as the Packers will come to town. Meanwhile, for Los Angeles, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.